Hello everyone, PhoenixKnight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the 1991 playoffs in Payoff Pitch Baseball. We're just about set for Game 4 of the ALDS between the Kansas City Royals and the Toronto Blue Jays. First up, let's update you guys on the action from earlier today. So with the win in Game 4 of their NLDS, the Los Angeles Dodgers now move to the NLCS. They're waiting for a dance partner, which will either be the Pittsburgh Pirates or the New York Mets. Their Game 4 will be tomorrow morning, and the Pirates lead that series 2-1. As for the American League, the Oakland Athletics are waiting for a dance partner of their own after sweeping the Minnesota Twins in their ALDS. And we're looking at Game 4 between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Kansas City Royals. Kansas City leads that series 2-1, and they can wrap up that series here today. So, with that, let's go meet Toronto's starting pitcher. Starting pitcher today for the Toronto Blue Jays is Juan Guzman, right-handed starter. 10-3 with a 2.99 ERA. 138 2/3 innings pitched, 98 hits, 6 homers, 66 walks, and 123 strikeouts. We won't be worried about the pitcher hitting cards because we are in the American League and using the designated hitter. With that, let's move over. We'll meet Kansas City's starting pitcher and take our first look at Kauffman Stadium. Starting pitcher for the Kansas City Royals is Kevin Appier, 13-10 and 91 with a 3.42 ERA, 207 2/3 innings pitched, 205 hits, 13 homers, 61 walks, and 158 strikeouts. In this postseason, he has a no decision from the AL wildcard game that brought Kansas City to the ALDS. Looking at Kauffman Stadium, if there's a more hostile stadium in 91, I'd love to hear it. Definitely a pitcher's park, especially to left-handed batters. 1-9 on a wheelhouse check on a ballpark, 1-30 to a right-handed batter. Still very much a pitcher's park. With that, let's move over to the main game area and check the shot over there. We are all set for this one. There's not an empty seat to be found at Kauffman Stadium. So, let's play ball. As the Royals start to get loose in the field, we'll take our first look at the Blue Jays starting lineup. Leading off, we have Brent Mullenix as the designated hitter. Greg Myers is catching. Roberto Alomar is at second base. Devin White is in center field. John Olerud is at first base. Joe Carter is in left field. Candy Maldonado is in right. Manuel Lee is at shortstop. And Rene Gonzalez is at third base tonight. That's the lineup that Kevin Appier is charged with keeping in order. Leading off for the Blue Jays is Rance Mullenix. Both of his 2 homers coming against right-handed pitching in 91. We're going to use gold, blue, and white dice. Royals are the home team. Game 4 of the ALDS. Royals win, they go to Oakland for the ALCS. Blue Jays win, we're back for Game 5 in Toronto on Monday night. Royals, Blue Jays. Who's got the upper hand in this one? Only the dice know, and the only way to find out what the dice are going to tell us is to go to the first pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 25, and Mullenix is going to get frozen right off the bat. Actually, 25? Yeah, actually, he's going to swing through the high heat for strike 3, and that will be the first out of the inning, and we are underway at Kauffman Stadium. Next up is Greg Myers, 7 of his 8 homers, coming against right-handed pitching. Appier will look in at main for the sign. Appier will wind up, and here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 48, and against a righty just at the top of Myers' range to get a base hit. The infield will go to double play depth, and here's Roberto Alomar. 4 of his 9 homers coming against right-handed pitching. Myers, no threat to get the jump, no threat to do much of anything on the base paths. Appier will look into main for the sign. Appier will set, glance back to Myers, and here's the pitch. 7 is a tough 42, and against a righty, Alomar is going to get that for a base hit. By the way, I forgot to mention, that switch hitters are batting righty to take advantage of a slightly less punishing wheelhouse, but we got a base hit for Alomar to worry about. Hard grounder into right field, or into left field, I should say. Runner on first advances 1 base. Myers will be at second. Alomar will be at first with 1 out in the inning. So an S7. Actually, he had a single as well. I forgot to note it on the sheet from Myers, but he did pick up a base hit to lead off. Here's Devin White stepping into the batter's box. White hit 9 of his 17 homers against right-handed pitching. Apier looking over to Myers at second. Alomar at first. Kauffman Stadium buzzing. They're hoping for a good pitch. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Apier will set, and here's the pitch. 10, I believe that is. Yep, that's a patient 70. And that's going to be just a little bit too high. Grounded over to second. Getting to that one is going to be Howard. Let's see if they can turn the double play. A 6 or less, the Royals will get out of the inning. Side retired. Howard will get to that one. He'll flip it over to Stillwell. Stillwell will turn and fire over to Cromartie. And that will be a 4-6-3 twin killing. And the Royals manage to get out of the inning. And the score is currently Toronto 0, Kansas City coming to bat. And now as the Blue Jays start to get loose in the field, we'll meet the Royals starting lineup for the first time today. Once I get all of their cards situated anyway, we will. There we are. Leading off, we've got Kurt Stillwell at shortstop. Bill Picota's at third base. Danny Tartable is in right field. Kirk Gibson is in left field. Warren Cromartie is at first base. George Brett's the DH. Brent Main is catching. Brian McRae is in center field. And David Howard is at second base. That's the lineup Juan Guzman is going to have to deal with today. Before we go too much further, I should mention that similar to the Dodgers and the Braves earlier, fast score house rule is not in effect because it's both a weekend and an elimination game. And the reason for the elimination is because it doesn't seem like it makes sense to me to have fast score finish a team's season. The eliminating team should land the death blow themselves. Anyway, slight ramble aside, leading off for the Royals is Kurt Stillwell. 5 of his 6 homers coming against right-handed pitching. Guzman will look in at Myers for the sign. Guzman will set. Here's the pitch. 6 is a tough 38. And against a righty, Stillwell will lead off the inning with a base hit. The Blue Jays will immediately go to double play depth. Here's Bill Picota coming up. Picota hit 4 of his 6 homers against right-handed pitching. Stillwell, not a threat to do much on the base paths. Guzman will glance over at him anyway. Guzman will turn back to Myers. Guzman will get the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. 7 is a tough 51. And that's going to be grounded right back to Guzman. We'll see if they turn the double play. 8 or less is a twin killing. 2 outs. Guzman will get that one. He'll turn and fire over to Alomar at second. Alomar will throw it over to Olerud at first. And that will be a 1-4-3 twin killing. Stadium groans. Ugh. The Blue Jays get the pitcher's best friend. And here's Danny Tartable. Tartable hit 23 of his 31 home runs against right-handed pitching. 2 outs, bottom of the first. Currently no score. Guzman will look into Myers for the sign. Myers will wind up. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 8. And Tartable is going to get frozen by a curveball for strike 3. And that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals in the bottom of the first. Still no score. Top of the second coming up, and we'll see the middle bottom of Toronto's order due up next. Apier will finish up his warm-up tosses, as coming into bat will be Joe Carter. Carter hit 23 of his 33 homers against right-handed pitching in 91. Apier will look in at Maine for the sign. Apier will wind up. Here's the pitch. 3 is a ballpark 1. Oh boy, Carter, that's wheelhouse. Carter thinks he's got a hold of one. No! Instead, he's going to ground that right over to short. Stillwell will get to that one, and he'll make the play for the first out of the inning. Carter can't believe he hit that one on the screws, but right at somebody. Here's Candy Maldonado. He hit 4 of his 7 homers against right-handed pitching while he was a Blue Jay. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Apier will wind up. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 83. And against a righty, Maldonado will continue the inning. Will have a base hit. Here's Manuel Lee. Lee didn't hit any homers against either side. Infield will move to double play depth for now, but Maldonado, jump a 3, hold of 7, 49 or less. He would be an excellent chance to try to swipe a bag on an A4, but he would need to get the jump on a 56 or less. That would be a 49 or less, and then could attempt with a poor jump, reducing his letter grade by 1, which would still be an excellent chance. So the Blue Jays are going to try it. It's a 49 or less, I believe. Yes. That's a 0-0, which I believe counts as a 0, so Maldonado is off to second on an excellent chance. Whoa, refer to the previous card's 1d6 error. Okay, so the previous card was a 6, so Maldonado will be safe, but we have to check the second baseman, who is Pacoda. No, it's actually Howard for an injury. So Maldonado will make it on a stolen base. And then we have to check... Who did we say we had to check? Howard for an injury. Howard is normal. This could be a problem for Kansas City. Maldonado is safe at second with a stolen base. And 91, uh-oh. Normal. Okay, so he's... Ouch! That is actually a problem, because Howard is going to be out for the remainder of the game plus 10 more. Yikes. So he potentially would be out. Actually, let me make some notes here. That was a really hard slide. So Howard will need to come out of the game, and we'll have a new second baseman. Do the Royals have another second baseman? Yes, they do. It'll probably have to be him. Let me see if they've got somebody else here. Could be not with stats like that. Okay. It's going to be Terry Schumpert coming in at second base for the Royals. Let me make a note of that. He'll be batting 9th. Okay, now that we've got that all straight, Apier will turn to deal with Lee at the plate. Apier will get the sign from Maine. He will set. Here's the pitch. 9 is going to be a tough 85, just a little bit too high. That's going to be grounded over to short. Getting to that one will be Stillwell. He'll fire it over to first for the second out of the inning. Maldonado will make third, though. Here's Rene Gonzalez, his only homer coming against right-handed pitching. Maldonado should be at third base. 2 outs, top of the second. Kauffman Stadium buzzing. Royals fans hoping for a good pitch. Apier looking in at Maine for the sign. Apier will set. Glance at wait a minute, what's this? Maldonado just took off. He's headed for the plate. And no! They got greedy, and Maldonado gets caught trying to steal the plate. Even on an excellent chance, he will be out, though. The Blue Jays getting bold on the base paths, but it doesn't work out for them here. Stadium cheers. Yay! The Blue Jays decided to get aggressive, tried to surprise the Royals, but the Royals were ready for it. Guzman finishes up his warm-up tosses, as we'll be looking at the middle of Kansas City's order coming up next. Here's Kirk Gibson. Gibson hit 14 of his 16 homers against right-handed pitching. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. Guzman will wind up, and here's the pitch. 2 is a patient 35, and that's ball 4. Slider misses the zone, and Gibson leads off the inning with a walk. Infield will go to double play depth for the time being, and here's Warren Cromartie. Cromartie hit his only homer against right-handed pitching. Gibson would be a B4, which would be an excellent chance. Jump of 4 against the hold of 8. He's going to try to get the jump. The Royals want to try to close out this series. 63 or less, he gets the jump. That's a 7. Gibson's off to second on an excellent chance. And Brett will make it safely, but we have to check for an error on Myers. His error rating is a 1. He won't throw that into the infield. That'll be Alomar keeping that on the infield, but Gibson will make it to second with a stolen base, and that will take away the double play. Guzman looking over to Gibson at second. Turns back to Cromartie at the plate. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. Guzman will set, and here's the pitch. 8 is going to be a tough 14, and Cromartie's going to get frozen by a changeup for strike 3 and the first out of the inning. And here's George Brett. Brett hit 8 of his 10 homers against right-handed pitching in 91. 1 out, bottom of the second. No score. Toronto tried to get greedy in the second and blew it. They tried to swipe the plate, but the Royals were ready for it. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. He will set, and here's the pitch. 6 is a tough 8, and Brett's going to get frozen by a curveball for strike 3. And here's Brent Maine. Maine hit all 3 of his homers in 91 against right-handed pitching. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Game 4 of the ALDS. Kansas City wins. They go to Oakland for the ALCS. Toronto wins. Game 5 is Monday night. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. He will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is a tough 88. And it's grounded over to second. Getting to that one is going to be Alomar. He'll make the play and retire the side. Nothing across except the walk and the stolen base for the Royals. We remain scoreless through 2. Top of the third coming up, and we'll be looking at the top of Toronto's order due up next. Apier will finish up his warm-up tosses, as stepping into the batter's box will be Rene Gonzalez. Hit his only homer against right-handed pitching. He was at the plate when Maldonado got greedy and tried to steal the plate, but the Royals were waiting for it, so Gonzalez will actually get his at-bat now. Apier will get the sign from Myers. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 5 is a patient 87, and it's going to be grounded over to short. Stillwell will get to that one. He'll make the play for the first out of the inning. And here's Mullinix. Mullinix struck out swinging his first time up. Apier waits for the sign from Maine. He will set, he will wind up, and here's the pitch. 6 is an in-play 27. Just missed it. Instead, he's going to pop it up on the infield. Schumpert will get under that one. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. And here's Myers. Myers is 1 for 1 today. Apier trying to get out of the inning. Kauffman Stadium hasn't stopped buzzing today. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 8 is going to be an in-play 56, and that's going to be a ground ball over to third. Pacoda will get to that one. He'll fire it across the diamond to first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays in the top of the third. Guzman will finish his warm-up tosses as he'll be looking at the bottom of Kansas City's order. Leading off the bottom of the third will be Brian McRae. 6 of his 8 home runs coming against right-handed pitching. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. He will wind up, and here's the pitch. 5 is a patient 37, and against a righty, that will be good for a leadoff base hit, and McRae will be on with a leadoff single. Blue Jays will move to double play depth, as here's Terry Schumpert. Schumpert hit 3 of his 5 homers against right-handed pitching. Stepping in, of course, for David Howard, who is out for potentially the entire ALCS, along with some of the games in the World Series, should the Royals get that far. Anyway, McRae is a C4, which is a very good chance. Jump of 5 against a hold of 8. They're not going to try it here. Guzman will glance over to McRae at first. He'll turn back to Myers at the plate. Guzman will get the sign. He will set. Here's the pitch. 11 is a ballpark check. 3. Uh-oh, that's wheelhouse. Schumpert thinks he's got a hold of one. 96, no. Instead, he's going to lift that one into left field. Getting under that one will be Carter. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Schumpert can't believe he didn't get a hold of that one. He got under it just enough to lift it into left field. Carter had plenty of room out there. Here's Stillwell. Stillwell is 1 for 1 with a single. Guzman will look into Myers for the sign. He will set. Here's the pitch. 8 is going to be a tough 13. And Stillwell will be frozen by a slider for strike 3 for the second out of the inning. Here's Pacoda coming up. Pacoda hit into a double play his first time up. No score, bottom of the third. Guzman trying to keep it that way. Royals want to get some runs on the board here. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. He will set. Here's the pitch. 6 is a tough 31. And against a righty, Pacoda will get that out of the infield for a double. Let's see what happens on the fast action cards. Deep drive off the wall into left field. Runners advance 2 bases. That's a 2-bagger. McRae will find himself at third. And Pacoda will find himself at second with a 2-out double. Here's Tartabull. Tartabull today is 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up. Kauffman Stadium buzzing. Royals fans hoping for a good hit. For Blue Jays fans, want to see this game kept right where it is. McRae at third. Pacoda at second. Tartabull watching me drop dice. Tartabull hoping for something to hit. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. Guzman will set. Here's the pitch. 10 is a patient 56. And against a righty, that'll be a base hit, and the Royals will get on the board first. Long single into the gap into center field. McRae will score. Runner will advance. Runner on second advances 1 base. Runner on Runner on first advance is 1 base. Second advance is 1 base plus. So that's a single into center field. The center fielder for the Blue Jays today is White. His arm is a 7. Pacoda is also a 7. Are they going to try to score? Are the Royals now going to get greedy and try to score Pacoda? They are going to try to get greedy and score Pacoda. So Tartable's safe. Here comes Tartable. Here comes the throw. If it's a 7 or less, he's safe. 7 or actually, is it? Let me just double check how the running works here. That's going to be here somewhere. I believe if it's less than both, he's safe. Actually, would he automatically score from second? With 2 outs, all runners advance an extra base. So actually, Pacoda scores automatically. So Pacoda actually will score automatically. I was checking how that works. So the score is actually 2-0 Kansas City on the 2-run RBI single by Tartable. Stadium cheers. Yay! And stepping into the batter's box now is Gibson. Gibson reached on a walk and stole a base. Tartable at first. Guzman looking nervous. Gibson waits for the pitch. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. Guzman will set. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a tough 78. And that's going to be a fly ball into center field. White will range in for that one slightly, but he'll have plenty of space. He'll have plenty of grass underneath him. And that will be the 3rd out. And that will retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits. And the Royals now have a 2-0 lead after 3. Top of the 4th, and we'll be looking at the heart of Toronto's order due up next. Apier finishes up his warm-up tosses. He's got to feel great right now, staked to a 2-0 lead thanks to his offense, but he's got the heart of the Blue Jays order due up next. Here's Alomar. Alomar today is 1 for 1. He's got a single. Apier will look into Maine for the sign. 2-0 Kansas City. Kauffman Stadium buzzing. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 9 is a tough 71, and it's going to be a ground ball to second. Schumpert will get to that one. He'll make the throw over to first, and that will be the 1st out of the inning. Here's Devin White. White today is 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. Royals looking to land the death blow. Blue Jays trying to evade. If you watched the earlier video, you saw this game looks very similar to that one. You'll see this game looks very similar to that one. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 90, and it's a ground ball to short. Stillwell will take that one. He'll fire it over to first for the 2nd out of the inning. And here's Olerud. Olerud today is 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play back in the 1st. Apier will look to Maine for the sign. Apier is feeling pretty confident right now with a 2-0 lead. Apier will set. He will wind. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be an in-play 44, and it's grounded over to first. Picking that one up will be Cromartie. He'll take it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays in the top of the 4th. Guzman finishes his warm-up tosses as leading off the bottom of the 4th will be Warren Cromartie. Cromartie today is 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up. Guzman looks into Myers for the sign. Guzman will wind. Here's the pitch. Get in the tower. 9 is going to be a patient 37, and that's going to be ball 4. Cromartie will lead off the inning with a walk as a changeup hovers out of the zone, and Cromartie gets on with a leadoff walk. Royals will go to double play depth, or not the Royals, the Blue Jays will go to double play depth, as here's Brett. Brett struck out looking his first time up. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. They'd love to get the pitcher's best friend once again here. Guzman will set. He'll glance over to Cromartie at first. Guzman will turn back to the plate. Here's the kick. Here's the pitch. 5 is a patient 43. And against a righty, Brett will get a hold of that one, and that will be a double. Opposite field shot into left field. Runners advance 2 bases plus. Cromartie is staying put, especially now that we've got, all of a sudden, the Royals very much have something cooking here with nobody out. They're not going to blow this. They're not going to blow a golden opportunity on sending a runner early. And Kauffman Stadium's woken up. Here's Maine. Maine grounded out his first time up. Of course, no double play. Guzman looking very nervous at Myers for the sign. Guzman will set. He'll glance to Brett at second. Glance to Cromartie at third. Guzman will set. Here's the kick. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 63. And that's going to be a ground ball to... Actually, if I was paying attention, I would have brought the infield in. Which we'll pretend that I did bring the infield in. That's going to be a tough 63, though, which is going to be a ground ball to short. We need to see what happens with the infield in chart, though. That's an 8. Cromartie gets greedy, and he's going to try to head for the plate, but he's going to be thrown out. And batter safe. Other runners advance a base. So Brett will make it to third on the fielder's choice as Cromartie decides to get greedy and basically serve the Royals and serve the Blue Jays a present here. 1 out. The infield will bring the corners in, so they have a chance to try to turn the double play. Here's McRae. McRae is 1 for 1 with a single, and it is raining something fierce right now. I can even hear it through the closed window. Anyway, Guzman will look into Myers for the sign. Runners at the corners. 1 out. Corners are in for the Blue Jays. Kauffman Stadium buzzing, hoping for a good hit. Guzman will set. Here's the pitch. 11 is a ballpark check. 61 is very much in play for McRae. That's a 9, and that's going to be a base hit. With the corners, actually, where was that hit? 9. Actually, that is going to be a base hit. Doesn't matter where it goes. But let's see what happens with advancement. Ball blooped into right field. Runner on first advances 1 base. So that's a base hit. Brett made third. He will score. McRae. Wait, hold on. Maine reached on the fielder's choice. That's what happened. So now he's at second. McRae's at first. Brett has scored. And the score is now 3-0 in favor of Kansas City. Stadium cheers. Yay! Infield will go back to double play depth. As here's Schumpert. Schumpert is 0 for 1. He flew out his first time up. Maine is not a threat to do anything on the base path, so nothing worried about there. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. He's looking very nervous. Guzman will set. Here's the pitch. 9 is going to be a patient 22. And against a righty, that's ball 4, and the bases are full of Royals. This is a very dangerous situation if you're a Blue Jays fan right now. We are going to get some activity in the Toronto bullpen while Kurt Stillwell makes his way to the batter's box. Stillwell today is 1 for 2. Who are the Blue Jays going to start warming up? Oh, I'm looking at the Royals bullpen. It would help if I look at the Blue Jays bullpen, wouldn't it? The Blue Jays are probably going to be looking for some long relief, so they're going to get Mike Timlin warming up. Because if this inning goes much more disastrously than it has, then they're going to need some long relief. The question now is how do the Blue Jays want to play their infield? They're going to play the infield. They're going to bring the corners in on this one. They want a chance at a double play, but they also want to try to keep the run from scoring. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. Looks over to Maine at third. McRae at second. Schumpert at first. Stillwell at the plate. Guzman will set. Here's the pitch. 6 is a tough 86. And that's going to be grounded to short. Can they turn the double play and get out of the inning because the corners were in? That's going to be a 6 or less to turn 2. No! Maine will score. Maine will score. McRae will make third. Schumpert will be thrown out at second on the fielder's choice. And Stillwell will reach on the aforementioned fielder's choice. 2 outs in the inning. Right. 2 outs in the inning. But the Royals now have a 4-0 lead, as runners will remain at the corners with 2 outs. Here's Pacoda. Pacoda is 1 for 2 with a double today. Royals are up 4-0. Game 4 of the ALDS. Kansas City wins, they're going to Oakland. Toronto needs this game to get us back to Toronto for Game 5 on Monday night. Guzman will look into Myers for the sign. He will set. Here's the pitch. 10 is a patient 54. And against a righty, Pacoda will get a hold of that one for a base hit. Hard grounder into left field. Runner on first advances 1 base. So it'll actually be 2 bases with 2 outs. So that's Pacoda picking up an S7. Alright, so McRae will score. Stillwell to third. It would help if I don't. So Stillwell to third. And the score is now 5-0 in favor of Kansas City. Stadium cheers. Yay! And now you can start hearing the chants of "We want Oakland" starting to build up. Anyway, stepping into the batter's box next is Tartabull. Tartabull today is 1 for 2 with a single. Guzman trying to get out of this inning. Guzman will get the sign from Myers. He will set. Here's the pitch. 4 is a tough 32. And Tartabull is going to swing through the high heat for strike 3, and that will finally retire the side. 1, 2, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 3 runs to make the score now 5-0 Kansas City after 4. Top of the 5th coming up, and we'll be looking at the second half of Toronto's order. Apier finishing up his warm-up tosses, as here's Carter. Carter today grounded out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. 5-0 Royals. Kauffman Stadium knows that they're close to a date with Oakland in the ALCS. Apier gets the sign from Maine. He will wind. Here's the pitch. 11 is a defense check. Somebody's got to play defense. That ball is hit to second base. Going after that is Schumpert on a possible error check. His error rating is a 2. He's very suspect out there. And he's going to boot that one. And that'll be a base hit and an E4. So Carter will find himself at second. Stadium is not happy, because here's Maldonado. Maldonado is 1 for 1 with a stolen base, a single, a stolen base, but he got greedy trying to steal home. Apier will look in to main for the sign. Apier will set. Here's the pitch. 4, or 6, I should say, is an in-play 10. And against a righty, that's going to be a double, and the Blue Jays will get on the board. Carter will score. Maldonado will end up at second, and the score is now 5-1 in favor of Kansas City. Stadium not really panicking too much yet. They still have a 4-run lead. Here's Manuel Lee. Lee is 0 for 1 today. Although I say the Stadium isn't panicking too much, but I have watched bigger leads than this disintegrate. We watched a 4-run lead. Actually, was it a 4 or a 3-run lead for Atlanta disintegrate? I think it was a 3-run lead that they watched disintegrate. So Apier will look in to main for the sign. Apier will set. Here's the pitch. 12 is a ballpark check. 54 is in play, even to a righty. That's a 99. That's going to be a fly ball into left field. Getting under that one is going to be Gibson. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. And I believe on a fly out, when it's a F7, can attempt to advance, but his run rating is reduced by 2. No. He's not going to try to advance. Here's Rene Gonzalez. Gonzalez is 0 for 1. Maldonado, coming back to that, is an A4 to steal, so he's an excellent chance. Jump of 3 against a hold of 7. Jump of 3 against a hold of 7. 49 or less, he gets the jump. They're going to try it. Blue Jays are going to try to manufacture a run here. That's a 9. Maldonado's off to third on an excellent chance. And he'll get there easily, not even a play. Maldonado will make third, and that will force the infield. That'll force the infield in to try to keep Maldonado from scoring. Apier will turn to Gonzalez. Apier will get the sign from Myers, or from Maine. Apier will set. Here's the pitch. 8 is an in-play 22. Just a little bit too high. That'll be popped up on the infield. Getting after that one at second base is going to be Schumpert. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. Here's Mullenix. Mullenix is 0 for 2 today. He's struck out and he's grounded out. Maldonado over at third. Blue Jays trying to get him in. Apier will look to main for the sign. Apier will set. Here's the pitch. 5 is going to be a patient 36, and that's going to be ball 4. Mullenix will make it on board with a 2-out walk. And here's Myers. Myers is 1 for 2 today with a single. 5-1 Royals. Kauffman Stadium panicking a little bit. They're hoping for a good pitch to get out of this inning. Runners at the corners for the Blue Jays. Mullenix is at first. Maldonado is at third. Myers is at the plate. Apier will look into main for the sign. Apier will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is a tough 13. And Myers is going to get frozen by a changeup for strike 3, and that will retire the side. 2 hits, an error, and a walk, but the Blue Jays can't do anything with it. Stadium sighs. Phew! We're actually going to get the hook for Guzman at this point. I've already compiled stats because I was planning on pulling him after the terrible fourth inning he had. Coming in to pitch for the Blue Jays is going to be Mike Timlin, 11-6 with a 3.16 ERA, 108 and a third innings pitched, 94 hits, 6 homers, 50 walks, 85 strikeouts. Anybody in the bullpen is fair game for Toronto. They're up against the wall today with a blindfold and a cigarette in their mouth. Leading off the bottom of the fifth is Kirk Gibson. Gibson is 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base. 5-1 Royals, bottom of the fifth. Royals win. They go to Oakland for the ALCS. Game 1 will either be Monday or Thursday. Blue Jays win. Game 5 is Monday night back in Toronto. Timlin will get the sign from Myers. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a tough 65, and that's going to be grounded over to short. Getting to that one is going to be Lee. He'll fire it over to first for the first out of the inning. And here's Cromartie. Cromartie today is over 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Timlin will look into Myers for the sign. Timlin will wind up. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 97. It's a fly ball into right field. Maldonado will get under that one. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. And here's Brett. Brett today is 1 for 2 with a double, and he's scored a run. Timlin looking in at Myers for the sign. He will set. He will actually wind up. Here's the pitch. 5 is an in-play 42, and it's going to be grounded right back to Timlin. He'll take it over to first himself since he's nearer to the bag. He'll tag the runner, and that will be the final out of the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals in the bottom of the fifth. Score remains 5-1 Kansas City after 5. Top of the sixth coming up, and we'll see the heart of Toronto's order due up next. Apier gets his warm-up tosses out of the way. As into the batter's box will step Roberto Alomar. Alomar today is 1 for 2 with a single. 5-1 Royals, top of the sixth. Game 4 of the ALDS. Apier looks into Myers for the sign. Apier will wind. Here's the pitch. 11 is a defense check. Who are we checking? That ball is hit the shortstop. Going after that is Stillwell on an error check. His error rating is a 2. He's got it, and it's going to be a ground ball. Stillwell will get to that one. He'll fire it over to first for the first out of the inning. And here's White. White today is 0 for 2. Apier looking into Maine for the sign. Apier will wind up. Here's the pitch. 10 is a patient 55. And against a righty, White will get that one out of the infield for a base hit. Here's Olerud. Olerud today is 0 for 2. He's hit into a double play. White is a B4. He would be an excellent chance to steal. Jump of 5 against the hold of 7. He's going to try to get the jump. Olerud seems to hit into double plays fairly frequently. All right, jump of 5 against the hold of 7 is a 56. No, an 81. White will hold. Apier will turn back to deal with Olerud. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Apier will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 72. It's a fly ball into center field. Ranging in for that one is McRae, but he'll have plenty of room before he gets to the infield to make the catch for the second out of the inning. And here's Carter. Carter is 1 for 2. He's got a single today. White looking over to Carter at first. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Apier will set. I will drop dice. Here's the pitch. 8 is an in-play 24. And against a righty, that's a base hit. Let's see what happens on the base paths. Hard grounder into right into left field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. So White will actually automatically score with 2 outs. He'll score all the way from first to cut into the Royals' lead a little bit more. It is now 5-2 in favor of Kansas City. Stadium groans. Ugh. And here's Maldonado. Maldonado is 2 for 2 with a single, a double, a stolen base, and he got caught trying to steal home. Apier will look in at Maine. Maine telling him to relax. Apier will get the sign. He will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is a tough 87. And against a righty, that's going to be a base hit. Maldonado will extend the inning. And that's going to be a sharp liner dropping in front of the left fielder. That's an S7. Runner on first advances 1, a.k.a. 2 bases. So Carter will make third. Maldonado will make first. And the inning continues as Manuel Lee steps into the batter's box and represents the potential tying run. Lee, though, is 0 for 2. Maine will go out to the mound, tell Apier to settle down. We've got a series to win. Apier will go back and get the sign from Maine. Apier will set. Maine will set where he wants the pitch. Here's the pitch. 9 is a tough 35, and Lee's going to swing through a curveball for strike 3, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 3 hits. But the Blue Jays have cut the lead for Kansas City to 5-2. Timlin will step back onto the mound as he'll be looking at the bottom of Kansas City's order. Leading off the inning is Brent Maine. Maine is 0 for 2. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored. Timlin will get the sign from Myers. He will wind. Here's the pitch. 10 is going to be a tough 79, and it's going to be a fly ball into center field. White going back for that one, but he'll have room before the track. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. And here's McRae. McRae today is 2 for 2. 2 singles, and he scored twice. Timlin looking into Myers for the sign. Timlin will wind. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a tough 78. And that's going to be another fly ball into center field. This time White won't have to go too far for this one, ranging to his left a couple steps, but that will be the second out of the inning. And here's Schumpert. Schumpert is 0 for 1 with a walk today. Timlin looking in at Myers for the sign. He will wind. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a tough 43. And Schumpert will swing through a curveball for strike 3, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals in the bottom of the 6th. Score remains 5-2 Kansas City after 6. Top of the 7th, and we'll be looking at the top of Toronto's order due up next. Kauffman Stadium looking a little bit nervous, but we're going to get some activity in the Royals bullpen. As starting to warm up is going to be... They're going to start Mike Magnante warming up. He was the hero of Game 1 of the wild card game for Kansas City. As coming up to lead off the top of the 7th for the Blue Jays will be Rene Gonzalez. Gonzalez today is 0 for 2. Royals fans hoping this game stays right where it is or they get more runs. Blue Jays looking for more themselves. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Apier will wind. Here's the pitch. 8 is an in-play 6, and Gonzalez is going to lead off with a base hit. I'll just reset these. Gonzalez will lead off the inning with a 1-out with a single. Here's Mullenix. Mullenix is 0 for 2 with a walk. The infield's going to go to double play depth, and Gonzalez is an F on the base paths with no jump. So Gonzalez is not going anywhere. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Kauffman Stadium hoping to get the pitcher's best friend once again. Apier will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 44. And against a righty, Mullenix will get a hold of that one, and that will be a base hit. That's a line drive into center field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. So that's going to be an S8 for Mullenix. Gonzalez will end up at third. Mullenix will end up at first. Blue Jays are saying, hey, we're not dead yet. And before we get into the next batter, I need to change my battery. Next up for the Blue Jays today is Myers. Myers is 1 for 3. The infield is going to play... They're going to play corners in to try to keep the run from scoring. Because Myers right now represents the potential tying run. Apier will get the sign from Maine. He will set. Looks over to Gonzalez at third. Mullenix at first. Myers at the plate. Apier will kick. Here's the pitch. 4 is going to be a tough 33. And Myers is going to swing through the high heat for strike 3, and that will be the first out of the inning. Here's Alomar. Alomar is 1 for 3 today with a single. He's grounded out twice, though. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Apier will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 7. And Alomar is going to get frozen by a changeup for strike 3. That will be the second out of the inning. Here's White coming into the batter's box. White today is 1 for 3. Apier will look over to Gonzalez at third. Mullenix at first. White at the plate. Apier will get the sign from Maine. He will set. Here's the pitch. 11 is a defense check. Where's that ball being hit? That ball is hit to second base on a possible error check. Going after that is Schumpert. His error rating is a 2. He's got it, and that'll be a ground ball to Schumpert. He'll take that to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. Two hits for Toronto, but they can't do anything with it. Score remains 5-2 Kansas City as we head into the 7th inning stretch. As usual, while I'm resetting things here, I won't torture you guys with my rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We are going to get some activity in the Toronto bullpen, as coming into pitch next will be... Blue Jays are going to get... They're going to get David Weathers loosening up in the bullpen. Leading off the bottom of the 7th for Kansas City, we'll be looking at the top of the Royals order. Leading off will be Stillwell. Stillwell is 1 for 3 today. Timlin trying to keep the game right where it is. Timlin will get the sign from Myers. Timlin will wind up. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 13. And Stillwell is going to get frozen by a slider for strike 3, and that will be the first out of the inning. And here's Pacoda. Pacoda is 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Timlin gets the sign from Myers. Timlin will wind. Here's the pitch. 7 is a tough 50, and that's going to be popped up on the infield to third base. Gonzalez will get under that one. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. Here's Tartable. Tartable is 1 for 3. He's singled, but he's also struck out twice. Timlin trying to get out of this inning. Timlin will get the sign from Myers. Timlin will wind. Here's the pitch. 7 is a tough 47. And Tartable is going to swing through a curveball that was headed out of the zone for strike 3. And that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals in the bottom of the 7th. Score remains 5-2 Kansas City after 7. Top of the 8th coming up, and we're going to see a pitching change for the Royals, along with the middle of Toronto's order due up next. I'm going to compile stats for Kevin Appier because he is coming out of the game. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits, 2 runs, both earned. How many walks did he give up? Okay, struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No hit batters, no balks, no wild pitches. Okay. Kevin Apier's stats have been compiled. He's coming out of the game. Coming into pitch will be Mike Magnante. 0-1 with a 2.45 ERA. 55 innings pitched, 55 hits, 3 homers, 23 walks, 42 strikeouts. He will be charged with at least the middle of Toronto's order. As for Magnante's previous heroics, scorebook's right here. I believe he had the win in Game 1 in the wild card game that brought the Royals to this point. Yep, he's got the win that brought the Royals here. Let's see if he's done anything else in this series noteworthy. Like won a game or anything like that. No, I don't think so. I think this is only his second appearance of this postseason. Nope, this is just his second appearance of the postseason. So on that note, we're looking at as I said, we're looking at the middle of Toronto's order. John Olerud will step into the batter's box first. Olerud today is 0 for 3. Royals lead 5-2. Game 4 of the ALDS. Top of the 8th. Kansas City 6 outs away from a day with Oakland. Toronto 6 outs away from wondering what could have been. Magnante will get the sign from Maine. He will set. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a tough 8. And Olerud's going to look at a slider that catches the inside corner for strike 3. For the first out of the inning. And here's Carter. Carter today is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Magnante gets the sign from Maine. He will set. Here's the pitch. That's a cocked die. Okay, 6 is a tough 47. And against the lefty, that's a base hit. I was getting excited because I thought it was going to be a double, but no. Carter's on with a 1-out single against a lefty. The infield will go to double play depth, as here's Maldonado. Maldonado is 3 for 3 today with 2 singles and a double. Carter is a C4, which is a very good chance. Jump of 5 against a hold of 5. They're not going to try it down 3 runs. Tempting, but no. Magnante will look into Maine for the sign. He will set. Here's the pitch. 6 is a tough 69. And Maldonado, actually, against the lefty, No, it's going to be flied into right field. Coming under that one will be Tartable. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. And here's Manuel Lee. Lee today is 0 for 3. Magnante gets the sign from Maine. Magnante will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is a patient 8. Yeah, patient 8. That's ball 4. Lee will find himself on with a 2-out walk. And here's Gonzalez. Gonzalez today is 1 for 3. Carter at second. Lee at first. Magnante looking in at Maine for the sign. Gonzalez represents the potential tying run. Magnante will get the sign. He will set. Here's the pitch. 9 is going to be a tough 48. And against a lefty, that is going to be a base hit. Hard grounder into left field. Runner on first advances 1 base plus. Runner on second scores. So let's just compile this. That's going to be an S7 for Gonzalez. Carter's at second. He will score. Lee is at first, so he'll automatically advance 2 bases. Could they potentially try to send Lee here? Because the score right now is 5-3 in favor of Kansas City. The question now is, does Toronto want to get greedy with this? Because Lee right now is at third. That's a 7. That was a single to a liner to left field. This left fielder for Kansas City here is Gibson. His arm is a 6. Ooh. They're tempted, but they're not going to test it. Not when they've now got runners on the corners with 2 outs. Here's Mullenix. Mullenix today is 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. 5-3 Royals. Magnante looking in at Maine for the sign. Magnante will set. Here's the pitch. 11 actually is a defense check. Somebody's got to play defense for Kansas City. That ball is hit to second base. It's a range play for Schumpert. His range at second is a B. And ooh, just barely. He's right at the edge of his range, and that's going to be a ground ball. He's going to lay out for that and get it up to the shortstop. What a play by Schumpert, and that will retire the side. Stadium cheers. Yay! But 1 run on 2 hits and a walk, and it's now 5-3 in favor of Kansas City. Timlin's going to come out of the game. I will compile stats for him. Lightning quick. Wait a minute. Did I have him go? No, I didn't have him go. I had him go 3 innings. No hits, no runs, no earned, no walks. 3 strikeouts. Actually, had a good appearance outing. Coming in to pitch for the Blue Jays is going to be David Weathers. Pitch for the Blue Jays, not bat. 1-0 with a 4.91 ERA. 14 2/3 innings pitched. 15 hits, 1 homer, 17 walks, and 13 strikeouts in 91. We are going to get some activity in the Kansas City bullpen, as I know exactly who the Royals want right now. There he is. Jeff Montgomery is going to start getting loose for Kansas City. Leading off the bottom of the 8th for the Royals is Kirk Gibson. Gibson is 1 for 3, is actually 0 for 2 with a walk today. I had to read my notes for a second there. Weathers will look into Myers for the sign. Weathers will set. Here's the pitch. 8 is going to be a tough 89, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. Alomar will get to that one. He'll make the play for the first out of the inning. And here's Cromartie. Cromartie today is 0 for 2 with a walk. Weathers will get the sign from Myers. Weathers will set. Here's the pitch. 5 is going to be a patient 46, and that's ball 4. Cromartie will find himself on with a 1-out walk. And here's Brett. Brett is 1 for 3. Cromartie is not a threat to do much on the base paths. The infield will go to double play depth, though. Help if I get a hold of all of the dice. Weathers will get the sign from Myers. He will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a patient 5, and that's going to be ball 4. Brett will find himself on with a 1-out walk of his own. And here's Brent Main. Main today is 0 for 3. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run. Cromartie at second, Brett at first, Main at the plate. Weathers looking nervous. He looks in at Myers for the sign. Weathers will set. Here's the pitch. 9 is a tough 1, and Main will get frozen by the heat for strike 3, and that will be the second out of the inning. Right. Here's McRae. McRae today is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Weathers will look in at Myers for the sign. Weathers will set. Here's the pitch. 10 is going to be a patient 82, and that's going to be a fly ball into center field. White ranging in for that one slightly, but he'll have plenty of room to pull that in, and that will be the final out to retire the side. 2 walks, but the Royals aren't able to do anything with it. Score is now 5-3 Kansas City after 8. Top of the 9th, and we are going to see a pitching change for the Royals. Magnante is going to come out of the game. I've already compiled stats for him. I'll get him set on the score sheet. And the Toronto Blue Jays are running out of outs. Stepping into the batter's box for the Blue Jays is Greg Myers. Myers today is 1 for 4 with a single, and he struck out twice. Montgomery is the last name that Blue Jays fans want to hear right now, but that's exactly who's come in to try to finish off the Blue Jays' 91 season. Montgomery will get the sign from Maine. He will set. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be an in-play 94. That's a fly ball into right field. Getting under that one is going to be Tartable. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. And here's Alomar. Alomar today is 1 for 4. Montgomery looking into Maine for the sign. 5-3 Royals. Kansas City 2 outs away from going to Oakland for the ALCS. Toronto trying to extend their season. Montgomery gets the sign from Maine. He will set. Here's the pitch. 2 is a patient 50, and Alomar will prolong this with a triple. What a bad pitch from Montgomery on that one. Stadium is not happy about that one. And here's White. White today is 1 for 3. Infield will play in. Montgomery needs to be careful with White. A mistake could tie this game. Montgomery will look into Maine for the sign. Montgomery will set. He'll look over to Alomar at third. Here's the pitch. 6 is an in-play 25. And against a righty, White will hit that one out of the infield for a base hit. Alomar will score, and it's now gotten very interesting. Score is now 5-4 in favor of Kansas City. Stadium groans. Ugh. And it's now Olerud. The infield will move to double play depth. Olerud is 0 for 4. He's already hit into a double play. If he hits into 1 here, he ends Toronto's season. Montgomery looking in at Maine. Kauffman Stadium on their feet, hoping for a good pitch. Montgomery will get the sign from Maine. He will set. Here, actually, before we do that, White is a B4. He has an excellent chance to steal. Jump of 5 against a hold of 5. They're not going to try it, as we were saying. Montgomery will get the sign from Maine. Here, Montgomery will set. Kauffman Stadium buzzing. Here's the pitch. 7 is a tough 17. And Olerud's going to get frozen by a slider on the inside corner for strike 3. And the last chance for the Blue Jays hinges on Joe Carter's shoulders. Carter today is 3 for 4 with 3 singles. A single here would be a great way to keep this game alive. Carter bracing himself. Montgomery looks in at Maine for the sign. Looks over to White at first. Carter waits for the pitch. Montgomery gets the sign. He will set. Kansas City Stadium, Kauffman Stadium on their feet. Royals bench on their feet. Montgomery will kick. Here is the pitch. 4 is a patient 91. It's a ground ball to short. Kauffman Stadium jumping up and down. Royals bench jumping up and down. Stillwell's got it. He'll pump once, pump twice, throw to first. That's your game. That's your series. The Kansas City Royals have eliminated the Toronto Blue Jays by a final score of 5-4. Stadium cheers. Yay! Final line score coming up. Just compiling the line score, so bear with me for a minute. Right, that was a grounder to short. Okay. So 1 inning pitched, 2 hits, but otherwise nothing of... Oh wait, 1 run. Hold on. Should have been another run then. Oh, Magnante gave up a run. Okay. I was confused a second because I knew there was another run in there. But I've got it all sorted out now. Let's see. So that's a total of... Wait. And we had 1... I think each team had an error, didn't they? No, it looks like only Kansas City had an error. Other way. For the Royals, 5 runs on 14 hits and 1 error. For the Blue Jays, 4 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Kevin Apier is going to end up with the win. Juan Guzman will take the loss. And Jeff Montgomery is going to get the save. And the Kansas City Royals, as we update this, will play the Oakland Athletics in the American League Championship Series. Game 1 of that will be Thursday at the latest, depending on what happens with the Pirates and the Mets. So that will do it for this playthrough of Payoff Pitch Baseball. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have Sunday morning baseball as the Pittsburgh Pirates are back at Shea Stadium to play the New York Mets in Game 4 of the NLDS. The Pirates lead that series 2-1. Can they get to the NLCS against the Dodgers? We'll find out tomorrow. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.